Morning. Welcome to St. Bees. Welcome to Alfred Wainwright's Coast to Coast. We're looking at approximately 190 miles from St. Bees in Cumbria to Robin Hood's Bay in North Yorkshire. We'll be going through 3 national parks, the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales and the North York Moors. I'm quite nervous about this one. It's a notoriously tough one, but I'm also excited and I'm looking forward to get on with it. So let's crack on, let's do this. See you soon. There we go, that's our last view of St. Bees before we start making our way north along the coast before heading inland and towards the Lake District. We're just passing the St. Bees Lighthouse, making our way north up the coast. It's been a nice start so far. Nice and sunny morning, nice and windy though, so it's cool. I've had a few fields of cows to negotiate, but none of them have been a problem so far. But I've got a couple more still to deal with ahead of me. And she's got a baby with her, so hopefully she'll make her way out of the way from the path. We'll soon see. That's it. That's the coastal section at St. Bees finished. It's been a cracking walk this morning. Beautiful, breezy, nice and cool. But now it's time to turn right and head in towards Sandwith and leave the coast. So the next time we walk the coastline, if I make it, we'll be on the east coast on the North Sea. As you can see, we've just made the next waypoint on the coast to coast route. We're just entering Moor Row, and as you can see behind me, we have the Alfred Wainwright statue. So we're making good progress. Should be in Moor Row pretty soon. We've just come through the town of Cleator, and now we're starting a slow steady climb up to Dent, which is the first real hill that we come across on this coast to coast walk. If I turn you around, you might be able to see the summit of it. It doesn't look too bad, but I'll let you know about that when I get to the top. Just a nice covered walk under the trees so far. Bit of a break from the sun, which is starting to get quite hot. There we go, summit of Dent. That's a little bit steeper and a little bit tougher than it looks from down below. That's a decent pull up there. Certainly gets the valves operating, but once you get up here, that's the view we're rewarded with. Things are going to start to get a little bit tougher soon. Next step, I'm going to drop down into Nannycatch Valley, I think it's called, along Nannycatch Beck, and I'll eventually be working my way towards Ennerdale Bridge. So I'll catch up with you soon. I've just dropped down off Dent, and I've got to say that it's quite a tough descent. It's quite steep in places, a bit rocky, but lots of it is steep grassy banks. Now, I'm fortunate today, it's dry, but I can imagine in wet weather or if it's raining, that'd be quite tough. Could be naughty, so if you're doing it, you want to watch out for that one. But as you've seen, I've just crossed Nannycatch Beck, so I think I'm now officially in the Lake District. So I guess things are going to get tough. Bring it on. Yep, a couple of pints of beer in the Fox and Hounds at Ennerdale Bridge. Liquid refreshment, as I'm sure you understand. I've also picked myself a nice bottle of Red Up for tonight. Now we're going to crack on, try and put a few more miles in and find somewhere to camp tonight. Currently at Robin Hood's Chair. The guy's probably never been here, but anyway, it's Robin Hood's Chair apparently. The wind is starting to get up now, which is obviously going to affect our choice of where to camp tonight, but we'll deal with that in a couple of hours time. See you in a bit. That's the end of Ennerdale Water. It was quite a tough section that. Starting off from Ennerdale Bridge, it was pretty much gravel paths, so it wasn't too bad. But as you start to approach Robin Hood's Chair, it starts to get rocky. And then from that moment on, it's just rocks all the way underfoot. It's quite tough. You need to be really careful. But we're at the end of it now. So in the next hour or so, we need to think about somewhere to pitch up for the night and have that bottle of wine that I picked up in Ennerdale Bridge. Marvellous. Evening. I'm all tucked up in my tent. I'm pitched just past the Black Sail Hut, and as you can hear, it's wild. Right, a quick recap on today. The coastline around St. Bees this morning was just absolutely beautiful. I caught it right, I caught a nice early morning sun, nice and breezy, so it was cool. And I don't know what is the traditional route and what is the alternate route. I know a lot of people tend to cut in from the sea at St. Bees Lighthouse. I continued on and I walked all the way around St. Bees Head, and I cut in at the top where there's some sort of sandstone quarry. I cut in there and headed over to Sandwith from that direction. Now after that you head over to Mower Row. It's nice walk, but instead of going up through Mower Row, I dropped on a cycle track to the left, and I was hoping to see if it was nice basically, but all I can describe it as really is a typical old railway line. That's what it looked like to me. So you've got banks at both sides and lots of trees, so obviously it looks better than the main road and houses, but it's nothing great. Anyway, after that we move on to Cleater, which surprised me actually. I was expecting a small village, but there was an awful lot of cars parked, so it's obviously fairly populated. Now there's a little shop open there as well, but I didn't bother getting anything. I just pushed on and I went to climb Dent. Now that surprised me, Dent. I was impressed with it. It was a good test. It doesn't look too steep from down below, but it certainly gets the chest pumping. It was a good climb. I enjoyed that. And now going down the other side towards Nannycatch Valley, it's quite a ropey descent. I was fortunate, in fact, it was dry, so no real problems. There's a couple of steep rocky bits, but a lot of it is quite steep grass. Now if you're doing that in the wet or the rain, you need to be careful because that is a little bit dodgy. But after that we had a lovely walk through the Nannycatch Valley along Nannycatch Beck, and eventually come out to Ennerdale Bridge, where I just basically jumped straight in the pub. It was exactly 12 o'clock. I was hot, thirsty, so I jumped in there and I had 3 pints of beer and then moved on, because I was expecting a fairly easy walk along Ennerdale Water. Now at first it was gravelly paths, wasn't too bad, and then as I was approaching Robin Hood's Chair, it started to get rocky, and then from that moment on it was rocky, it was slippy, it was tree roots, and at that point I thought maybe I've made a mistake with these 3 pints here. But anyway, we got there, and then when you get to the end of it, it's fairly decent walking. But what I didn't realise was there wasn't so many places to pitch, so I just straight away I thought I'll push on to Black Sail Hut, and that was another 6 miles, so the total miles today is 23 miles. Now it's been an enjoyable day, but I'm shattered now. I'm just sat having a couple of glasses of wine, and the weather's supposed to be awful tonight. Gale force winds, rain. It's getting there now, as you can hear. But anyway, I think after this wine I'll be calling it a night because I'm shattered. So good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Cheers. don't know if you can hear this, but off there in the distance is Ennerdale Water, which we came past yesterday. Coming round, you've got haystacks with its head in the clouds, and further round you've got the village of Buttermere, and beyond that you've got Crummock Water. Buttermere itself is just out of sight below the rocks. As you can hear, the weather is absolutely wild. What a crazy night it was. I'm amazed the tent was still standing, but we're here and we're cracking on. Just finished the descent down into Honister Slate Mine, and now I'm a bit early. I want to see if the cafe's open, if I can grab a coffee, but it may not be open yet. But one word of warning, I've just come down that. And it's wet, lots of water running, the rocks are drenched, the grass is drenched, and I stacked it. I went face first. Luckily I take my hands out of my trekking pole straps, so when I started to go I flung them and I got my hands out and I managed to control my slide down, and luckily I never damaged myself. I've got one little graze on my knee and that's it. So a word of warning to you, don't put your hands in your trekking poles when you're descending, in case you need to ditch them. Finally reached the summit of Lining Crag. Lining Crag is, I believe, 542 metres, and I've got to say that was brutal. It's a real tough climb up to there. Bit of scrambling to do as well, but it's in the bag, so we move on. Speak soon. Just reached Green Up Edge, overlooking the valley below. If I zoom you in, you can have a look, it's beautiful. Morning. It's the morning of day 3, so I thought I'd better do a little bit of a catch up. We'll go back to the night of day 1 when I camped near the Black Sail Hut. Now, I knew the weather was coming in, and I think you've probably seen a little bit of this on the clip of the video I showed. That was at around about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Now, it was predicted to get a lot worse around about midnight. So I got my head down just after 8 o'clock, and at midnight the wind started to wake me up. And by 2 o'clock it was just insane. The winds, as predicted by the Mountain Weather Information Service, the wind was expected to be 40-50 miles an hour with even stronger gusts, and my tent just got smashed all over the place. But it stood it, took it, so I'm pleased about that. So anyway, at first light I dropped the tent and I just got on my way. Now, the climb from Black Sail out over the top towards Honister is a tough climb, especially in the conditions with the rain and the wind. Everything was really slippy, and when I got up on top it was just a complete fog out. I couldn't pick a single thing out. I tried following the map, and I wasn't coming to the landmarks I was looking for, so I used the GPS on my phone, and that started me in a direction. And when I checked after a minute or two, it had obviously been bouncing around, and I was going probably almost in the opposite direction. So I backtracked again and walked the opposite way, and as the fog started to lift, I finally spotted the fence that takes you all the way over to Honister. So I'm on my way, and then, as I've explained before, the descent down into Honister is steep, and with all the rain and everything, it was crazy. It was really slippy. It was naughty. But after my fall, I picked myself up and I got on with it. And a bit further on, you come to your first real climb, which is Lining Crag. Now, basically, I got to the top of Lining Crag, and it was really tough. And I thought to myself, I've just spent all morning with my head down. I've not taken out any photographs, any videos. So at that point I thought, I'm going to take stock, and I'm going to shorten my day, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to start enjoying it a bit more. So I was planning on getting to Patterdale yesterday, but I stopped short into Grasmere. I phoned my wife up when I got signal, and asked if she could find me some digs, and herself and colleague V, big shout out to V, she found me a place called the Traveller's Rest, which is literally a couple hundred yards off the trail. It was brilliant. It's a nice pub, it's a lovely bed, a shower, decent, really good food as well, and I had a good night's sleep. And now today I'm just going to do a short one across the Patterdale where I was hoping to end up yesterday, basically to rest the legs because they are a bit stiff, and rather than have a rest day, just a short walk. And then by tonight, hopefully, I'm booked into the Youth Hostel tonight, so another bed, another shower, and then the day after I should be ready to go again. So that's about it for now. I'm now just heading up to Grisdale Tarn, which is somewhere up here. So we'll probably catch up when I get up there. See you soon. Lots of the mountains with the head still in the cloud. What an absolutely gorgeous morning. And that's where we're going. Grisdale Tarn is just up here. Look to our left, that is Seat Sandal. It stands at 736 metres, I think it is. I think it's going to be lovely up here this morning. There we go, Grisdale Tarn. That was a lovely steady climb up to here. I'm sticking to what I said, I'm taking it nice and easy. I enjoyed that one, and now I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a cup of coffee and a nice breakfast bar. I'll find a nice place in there, out of the wind. I'm just now on my descent down from Grisdale Tarn, which is back up that way over there. And if I spin you around, starting from the left, we have, that's High Crag, and round to Nethermost Pike, and down in the distance, this one over here is, I believe it's Place Fell, and up on the right up here, that is St Sunday Crag. Certainly some climbing involved in those, but the views are just fantastic. I'm just making my way along the trail. I'm heading towards Patterdale, and I'm just currently above Glenriddin and Ullswater, as you can see. Right, that's it. Short day today. Nice and steady. Give my legs a chance to recover before we tackle Kidsty Pike tomorrow. So, early afternoon, and I'm in the White Lion in Patterdale, replacing lost fluids. Cheers everyone. Smashing. Morning. It's the morning of day 4. I've got an early start this morning. I don't know if you can pick it up, but can you hear the dawn chorus? Fantastic. Right, first things first, I'll turn you round. I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's a scar going up there. That's the track we're taking this morning, and it will take us over the top and eventually onto Angle Tarn. So, nice climb to start the day. Just a quick update. I've nearly finished the climb over to the top of Angle Tarn, and I will say that where I showed you from down below this morning, it's a bit of a false summit. There's a fair bit of ascent to go after that. None of it's too major. There's a couple of rocky bits, there's a couple of slightly steeper bits, but nothing too major. But when you get to the top, you greet with views like this. Now if I spin you around, let's start down there. I think that water's sticking up there, I think that is Brothers Water. Now there's quite a few crags here, which names I can't remember, but that with its head in the cloud there is Helvellyn, and the peak just next to it is Catsticam. Now you can actually do them as an alternate if you take the alternates from Grisdale Town, where I was yesterday, but you're taking on some climbing there if you're going to do that. Finally made it to Angletown. It's quite cool up here this morning. There's a fairly strong wind blowing, so I'm not going to hang around too long. Keep going and keep warm. This is probably one of the most popular wild camping spots in the Lake District, I believe, Angletown. It's fairly easy to get to and it's a nice place. I don't think you're going to see a great deal here, but we're now at the summit of Kidsty Pike, 780 metres, which is the highest point on the official coast to coast route. I'd like to show you around, but we're just totally in the clouds at the moment. It's been like this since I started climbing up from Angletown, and it's blowing a gale as well. It's absolutely icy. Oh, hang on. There we go. You might have seen that before the cloud moved in again. Anyway, I'm going to push on and get down a bit further, get warmed up. See you soon. Before starting this coast to coast hike, I purchased the media mod for the GoPro camera, basically for the enhanced microphone that helps deal with the effects of wind on the audio quality. And it was actually working. It's done quite a good job, but right from the very start of using the media mod, I was having issues with it. It was regularly locking up and refusing to operate correctly, and I was having to take the camera out of the media mod and pull the battery to reboot it. But sadly, at this point in the video, it actually stopped working altogether and it just refused to record audio at all. Unfortunately, I didn't notice this until I'd done about 9 or 10 videos, which was basically all the way down the side of Haweswater. Now, as a result of this, it means from here on in, I'm at the mercy of the wind again, because I've had to use the GoPro and the naked microphone that's built into it. And as you will see from the rest of the coast to coast vlog, there are points where the audio is overpowered by the wind, which is a shame, but hopefully you'll understand and stick in there and enjoy the rest of the vlog. Just showing you around. We're long gone from Haweswater now, but we had a fair bit of rain, so I couldn't get the camera out. But now it's starting to clear up again. You'll see the last, what you can see of what we would call mountains. And as we pan round, you can see the landscape change instantly. We are definitely leaving the Lake District. It's now all cattle, so we're definitely in the lowlands now. Feels a bit sad, but we have to crack on.